Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lauren. Welcome. If you're not new, then this might be a familiar face. Hunter is joining us today, and we are actually talking about the conclusion of my 6-month project pan today. And what I've been doing in each of these monthly updates is telling you how many times I've used the products and the overall total usage of said product. Today's going to be a little different since this is the last episode of this particular project pan. So I will be giving you my final thoughts on these products and what my project pan next time is going to look like. And I'm literally starting another project pan right after this one. So it's going to be different. I feel like I've learned a lot from this project pan, but let's go ahead and get into this. I want to tell you how many times I've used each item, and as we go through it, I'm just going to tell you what I think about these products and if they make me angry, because some of them, quite frankly, do. So I have 2 primers left in this project pan. I did finish one up earlier in the beginning of this project pan. I did not. I was so close. I was so close to finishing another one, but let me show you. First up, we have the Freck Rich Bitch Primer. Now, this is very much a gripping primer, so it's interesting when you put it between your fingers. It like does that weird stringy thing. It's kind of weird, but overall was a really good primer. Now, I only used this once in June. You'll see why in a second, but that brought my total usage to 35 times during this project pan. And I don't even think it might be halfway done, possibly, maybe a little bit more, but I feel like there's quite a lot of product left in here. I do wish that this was a see-through bottle so we could see the progress, but that's kind of a good thing for me to note for my next project pan. Seeing something where we can kind of tell what the usage looks like is probably a little more beneficial. Overall, it's a good product. Would I buy it again? I don't know. I don't think I would. And partially because the other primer that I have in my project pan, I've been enjoying so much. And I didn't originally because I thought it was weird. But this is the Stila One Step Primer. It's almost empty. Now, this is the travel size, but I was so hoping that I could finish it up before the end of the month. I didn't quite make it. I think in a couple weeks we might be able to finish this off, but I didn't quite make it for this project pan. So close. I actually used this product 22 times this month, and I did not use it for the first 3 months of my project pan because I just thought it looked so weird. It kind of looks like a DNA strand. It kind of looks like it's some foreign fungus or I don't know. It looks cool, but it looks weird. And honestly, it is a fantastic primer. Now, it says it's a correcting and brightening primer. I don't really know if it's correcting. I do have some red in my face. You can probably see some right now on my nose and on my kind of like T-zone area because it is late at night. Everything is getting a little bit shinier. So I don't know if it really did color correcting, but any sort of foundation I used with this primer went on flawlessly. It just works so well with everything, and it just created such a great canvas to layer things on top of, but it also like melted into my skin. So it wasn't silicone-y or anything like that. It was very moisturizing, and it just was a great base for every single foundation I used. So was really actually impressed by this product. Wish I started using it the first couple months and didn't get scared of it because we would have finished it. We were close, not quite there. And I think I already mentioned this, but I did use it a total of 48 times. So it goes to show you that even a little travel size like this is gonna last you a long time. We have a couple foundations. First up is from Dior. This is the Forever Natural Nude in 1.5. And as you can see, there is definitely a dip there. Now, this item is in my project pan because it was just getting old. Like, they've already reformulated it. I wanted to get more use out of it. It's a fantastic foundation. I have to say, I think Dior is my top brand for foundations. They just always work so well. So it's a great foundation. I used this foundation a total of 11 times in June, bringing my total usage to 44 times. It's not even halfway done. So again, it kind of goes to show a lot of product, and I definitely am not one just to use product to try to go through it. So I just do my standard pump and a half, And that's really all I need for coverage for this. It gives like a little more of a glowy finish, not glowy, but just a moisturized, hydrated kind of look. It's a really good foundation. It's fantastic. The other foundation that we have that also took me a little while to get into, just like the Stila primer, is the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation in the color Fair 4. And you know what's really exciting? Let me show you. Let me show you. I hit pan! Yes, I actually managed to hit pan in this product. This was another one. I didn't use it for the first 4 months of my project pan. First off, I thought it was just not going to be the greatest foundation for me to use in winter. I have very dry skin, and a heavy cream product like this doesn't tend to go well with my skin, and I just didn't want it to emphasize any of the dry areas in the winter, so I waited until the weather got warmer. So I actually only ended up using this product a total of 13 times in my project pan, and 5 of those times were in June. It was 8 times in May, and that was kind of it, but we still managed to hit pan. Now, I had a theory that this product actually makes me break out, and I think it does. So as long as I don't use it too often in a row, I can use it here and there, but I can't use it multiple times in a row because I will break out. So that's not great, but if I use it once, it tends to be fine. Now, this setting powder is garbage. It's always been garbage. It's fine. But I'm hoping I can get through the foundation because it is a good foundation. It is a little higher coverage than what I typically like to wear, but it makes my skin look so good. So I do really like this. Wish it didn't make me break out, but I just won't be using it super often. One product that I put in here is kind of what I consider an illuminator or a radiance kind of product, but that is from Fenty. It's the Eaze Drop Lit All Over Glow Enhancer in Pink Pearl. You can kind of see it's like down to here. Now I used this a total of 11 times in June, bringing my total usage to 26 times. And the thing with this product is I only used a couple drops when I used it. My favorite way to use it is to mix it in with a drier foundation. So honestly, mixing it in with the Dior wasn't necessary because the Dior was already hydrating. But there are a couple of other foundations that I found this worked really well with, including the Hourglass one, which I think it's the Ambient Lighting Foundation. That foundation is really pretty, but it is very dry on my skin. So mixing in a product like this was perfect. I don't love this just as a highlighter by itself. I like it as like a glow enhancer for your foundation. So that's what I used it as, and I did really like it. And you know, I honestly like thought in the beginning of the year I was gonna declutter this, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. 2 concealers, very different, very, very different. The first one is the Charlotte Tilbury Concealer in One Fair. I don't know why everything is covered in my hair. That's not really a surprise. But I used this a total of 4 times in June, bringing my total usage to 30 times. And I was positive I was gonna hit pan, and I did not. I did not. It looks a little weird because I had to go and clean it out, because with cream products, there's fuzz in it. Not fuzz growing in it, like this is not biohazard, but like a random cat hair. My hair will fall into it. Cream products just seem to attract random hair in the air straight to them. And unfortunately, I have a lot of, between myself and the cats, hair, lots of hair. So this is I like this as a concealer, but I don't love this concealer if I'm like filming something, because I feel like it doesn't do a great job hiding any sort of like color or the hollowness of my eyes. It gives you a little bit more of an awakened look, but again, it's not hiding any of the problems, which sometimes I want to hide the problems, which is when this comes in. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Multi-Use Concealer in 4N. I used this one, let's see, 12 times in June, bringing my total usage to 24 times. And I went back and forth with this product so many times. I loved it, I hated it, I loved it, I hated it. I feel like I was a little confused by it, but I finally figured it out, okay? This is a good concealer when you want to hide everything, but it's not a good concealer if you want to hide things for a long period of time, because boy, does this settle into the cracks underneath your eyes. It doesn't look great for an all day lasting sort of look, but it looks great if you need it for, 5 or 6 hours. You know, after that, who knows? It could go either way. But for me, it tended to settle into my under eyes. The secret really was to go in with a very light hand, which I did as much as possible, but you know, every once in a while I would forget my own rule and I would go in too heavy and it would not be great. Either way, I really kind of strongly disliked this product when I was first using it, and I really did a 180. I figured out what it was good for, and it's perfect for filming. Setting powder. Okay, first up is from Becca. This is the Soft Light Blurring Powder in Pink Haze. And, you know, Becca does not exist anymore as a brand. So this is just an older product. I wanted to get more use out of it, which is why I put it in my project pan. I used this 6 times in June. Now, I did add this product in at the 3-month mark. I ended up switching out quite a few products at that time, either ones that I knew how I felt and I was super over them, or I had finished some products. So I did switch some things out. But I used this a total of 14 times during my project pan, which isn't a lot. And I realized for my next project pan, I'm not gonna be picking 3 different setting powders, because I need to slim down that category so I can really focus on one. And this is a great powder. Like, pink is supposed to be brightening. I feel like it does that. It's very finely milled. It's a really pretty powder, so I do like this one, but I just didn't like it as much as my Fenty. So the Fenty Pro Filter in Lavender has been my go-to setting powder. It is fantastic. Now, I used this a total of 7 times in June, bringing my total usage to 24 times. And I always want to be using this. I always want this in my collection. It's so finely milled. I feel like the lavender does an even better job for my skin tone brightening than the pink does. It just looks good. I love this. Love this. It also made me realize that I really like loose setting powders versus compacts, and so much more. There's just something so much better about a loose setting powder. I just feel like it does more than when you're using a compact. Now, speaking of compacts, we do have one more setting powder in this project pan, and that's the Chanel Le Beige setting powder in Light. Now, I used this a total of 4 times in June, bringing my total usage to 44 times. When I originally picked this, it was because I thought this product was the complete wrong color for my skin tone. And while it looks dark in the pan, it does not look that way on your face. This is a great setting powder, but again, I just have realized I really like the loose setting powders a lot better. But this is great if you're like, need to do something quickly, if you want to bring something on the go. This is a really good setting powder. Now, this is in my project pan because this is another item that's been reformulated, and I wanted to get some use out of it. I really wanted to know if it was a product that should stay in my huge collection or if it should go. And ultimately, it definitely is gonna stay. I just think this is a great powder for traveling. Again, with loose powders, they can kind of leak out over the top. They can be a little bit messy. This is compact, easy to use, and just works really good in the T-zone area, which is primarily where I use powder. It's a good product. And it's expensive. Whew, okay, we are on to bronzers. The first up is the Melt Cream Blush Light in Lynx. Now, you probably noticed the yellow tape on all these items. That's so I can identify what's in my project pan and what's not, in case you're curious. Now, this product is technically a blush, but I use it as a bronzer because look at this color. Now, I used it twice in June, bringing my total usage to 8 times. This is another product that I switched in at the 3-month mark. My real question with this product is, if I liked it, would I continue to use it? Because I do like it. I thought it would be too orange. I like a cool tone bronzer, but I actually liked this color. It can go orange real fast if I go in with a heavy hand. So less is more with this product for sure. But I don't know if this is a product that I would reach for now that this project pan is ending. I have so many cream bronzers that I just really, really like that this isn't a color that I love. So to be honest, I think I'm probably going to end up decluttering this because I don't think I'm going to use it in the future. I just think I have so many other cream bronzers that I prefer over this. So even though it worked really well as a bronzer while I had it in my project pan, I, again, just don't see myself reaching for it very often after this. Another product that I was kind of all over the place with was the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in Biscuit. It's a little mini guy, and one sad fact is it used to be magnetized, and now the cap doesn't really close. It likes to pop off. But I used this 5 times in June, bringing my total usage to 28 times. And this was a product I learned real fast that if you try to blend too much, too hard, it'll be gone. So you go in with a light hand when you blend this out, and it works fine. Is it my favorite bronzer? My favorite cream bronzer? No, but I do like it. It's easy and quick to use. It's a little warmer than what I would prefer. Again, I like a more neutral, cooler tone bronzer. This one is definitely a little bit more warm than I like, but overall, it's a good, easy, fast product when I'm in a rush. A super old product that I included in my project pan is this bronzer from Burberry. This is the Dark Earthy Blush in number 11 Light Glow, and it's old. They stopped making beauty, Burberry, and now they've recently restarted coming out with new products. No bronzers. This is so old, but it's been in my collection for so long, and I was like, I can't get rid of it unless I really know how I feel. Now, this is a powder bronzer. I am all about the creams these days, but this one, I liked the color. It's a cooler, more neutral toned bronzer. It probably for most people would be considered a contour, but I like my bronzers to be a little bit more contour-esque, if you will, just because those colors tend to fit my skin tone a little bit better. Now, this was all about using the right brush. So, REM Beauty has one of the best bronzer brushes that I have ever used, okay? It's fat and it's long and it picks up product great, and that's what I needed to use for this. But when I used any other brush other than that one, it didn't look good. So for me, it was all about figuring out the right tool to really use to apply this product. With powder bronzers, I just think that sometimes they can look patchy, right? I tend to use like foundations that are a little more on the dewier side, and sometimes, you know, products stick to that weird, especially if they're powders. So this, I had a couple very bad makeup looks with this. You're gonna see a picture soon. But overall, I do really like it. Again, it's all about using the right tools. I'm gonna definitely hold on to this. It's a good color. I like the color. And I don't know, I'm waiting for Burberry to come out with new bronzers, and then maybe I can replace this. I haven't decided if I want to do blushes in my next project pan because I fail so epically. And part of the reason why though is because 2024 was really the year of the blush. Every single company was coming out with all these different kind of blushes. I tried a lot of them. I don't want to ever buy another blush again. I have so many. You may have seen my recent blush collection declutter. It's a small declutter, it's more of a collection overview, but take a look at that if you're curious. But this is the MAC Glow Play in Cheeky Devil. It is such a cool formula. It's like spongy. It's very cool. It's a very light pink. It's perfect. I did not use this in June. I only used this a total of 7 times during this project pan, and I just was not reaching for it. So I need to figure out a better way to do blushes in my project pans because I don't know. It's just I have too many options. I want to try them all out. And I just wasn't using this one, but I do like it. I think it's a pretty light color when I'm looking for something a little more natural. I think the formula is really unique. I love it, but this is another product where you have to find the right brush. You need something stiff that really picks up this product. e.l.f. has a putty brush that I use for this that someone actually recommended to me on the channel, and it's amazing. But you gotta pick your tools right with this one. It's a cool product. I'm gonna keep on holding on to it. I don't feel ready to let it go anytime soon, but and it doesn't smell like anything. That's kind of crazy. There's like no smell, but it's a good product. I just was not using it. Probably kind of the same with this one. Did I really only use this once? Oh my god. Okay. So this is from Sisley. This is the Fido Blush Eclat in 5 Pinky Coral. I don't even know if I can give you a decent review of this, which makes me not super happy with myself. I should have been able to use this enough in 6 months to tell you how I feel, but I can't because I used it once and I don't know why. If you did watch my blush collection declutter, you will see that I'm not a big fan of orange blushes, but this one, like the one time I used it, I felt like there was enough pink mixed into it where I didn't have to call it an orange or a coral blush. It was a little bit of a mix of both. And I don't know. I need to keep using it clearly because I can't tell you. I think I liked it. It was on sale, which is why I got it, which I need to not do that anymore because I shouldn't buy stuff just because it's on sale. I should buy it because I want it, right? Because it has a place in my collection. And this is like an insanely expensive blush. So that's why I got it. It was on sale. I wanted to see what was going on with it. And we haven't yet. So I need to keep using this one. Even though my project pan is ending, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop using this. This next blush I got a little more use out of. I used it 5 times total. Once in June. But that's from Kaleidos, and you know, I love the packaging, but I just wish that they had the names of the blush on them, and they don't. So I can't tell you the name of this product, but I can tell you it's that classic bright pink that everyone has been loving, or at least last year. I think things are changing. Seems like people are really into reds lately, so I have some of those. Luckily, I don't need to buy any red blushes, but this is just a very pretty bright pink. I just didn't use it very often. I have quite a few very similar colors in my collection, and I like the Kaleidos formula, and I do like their packaging. It is very pretty, but would I say this was a very special blush in my collection? Probably not. Is there a place for it? I think so. I think I want to hold on to it for now, but it's, yeah, I wish I knew the name, but it's a good formula. There's so many blushes out there, and this is a powder one, and again, I'm just really into creams right now, so I think that's one of the reasons why I just didn't use this as much. So it's staying in my collection for now, but it needs some more use. But I kind of already know how I feel about it. I like it. Do I love it? No, but I like it. I hate this product. I'm gonna pop up a picture here in a second of what this product did to my face. I used this once in June just to get a final opinion on it. I used it a total of 4 times during my project pan. Each time it just ruined my makeup. So this is from Danessa Myricks. This is the Dew Wet in clear, and it literally is like a clear highlighter, but it never dries down. So it's always sticky. It's almost like you're putting like something similar to Vaseline up here. It doesn't dry down. Your hair sticks to it when it gets in it. It's almost like it's for some sort of like fancy photo shoot. This would come in handy. You don't need to use chicken grease. You can use this, you know? This would be great for, you know, just making your skin look, I don't know, like it draws the light to it, but I hate it. It ruins my makeup every time I use it. I'm sure there's gonna be someone in the comments that is like, well, you're using it wrong. Please tell me how. Please tell me how, because I cannot figure it out. I hate it. I hate it. You've seen the picture. Not only was my bronzer, it was a bad day for the Burberry, but it just cuts anything, and there's a line. It's really bad. So I hate it, but you know, I tried it enough to tell you that I hate it. And I actually think the new Patrick Ta highlighters that just came out are probably a similar formula to this. That's what it sounds like. So I'm really glad I did not get those. You know, I've talked a lot about how surprised I am at how much I like this product. But this is from Jaclyn Cosmetics, another brand that no longer exists. But this is their loose highlighter in Hypnotic. It's purple. It's so finely milled. It's so beautiful. It's so ethereal. She should have just made more highlighters. She knew what she was doing when it came to highlighters. You could have just had a business. Maybe not. But like, it's just such a good product, okay? I used this twice in June. This is another one that I switched in at the 3-month mark. So I only used it a total of 6 times, but it literally made me like do a double take on how I felt about Jaclyn Cosmetics, and how I was kind of sad that it's gone now because I can't get any more. And it's such a smooth, finely milled highlighter. There's no chunky sparkles in it. It's just the way I like a highlighter to be. It's really good. The other highlighter that I have is from Tarte. Everything has powder on it from the setting powder, but this is the Maracuja Juicy Glow in the color Pearlescent Glow. It's just like their lip products. It's a clicky pen, and this was just getting lost in my collection, which is why I added it into my project pan. This is a fantastic highlighter, okay? It's so good. I used it 5 times in June, bringing my total usage to 12 times. And it was just so easy to apply. You just like run it across the top of your cheekbones. And what I did was I just patted it out with my finger and it just looked great. Again, there's no chunky shimmers in this, which is what I prefer. It just makes you look glowy. It's not overly glowy. It's something that I would use going into work. I thought it was totally work appropriate. And I really like this. I'm glad that I've been using it more. It almost makes me want more, but that's not the point of this project pan. It's not to buy more, it's to use what we have. So I'm gonna continue to use this because I really like it. There was a face palette, and that is the Pat McGrath face palette, the Divine Blush and Glow Trio Love at First Blush. This is one of the collabs that they came out with Bridgerton. I used it 3 times in June, bringing my total usage to 11 times. It has 2 blushes and 1 highlighter. I only used the highlighter a couple times. The blushes are amazing. Now, I realize that the pink in this one kind of is pretty similar to the Kaleidos pink one that I chose for my project pan. So that's something to kind of keep in mind for me next time, to definitely pick more varied products. Don't pick any product that has an overlap like these blushes do. But her formula is so good. Like, these blushes are just silky soft. They're fantastic. So I do quite like Pat McGrath's blush and highlighter formula. Her eyeshadow formula is not my favorite. I think it's a little bit overpriced, but you can't go wrong with her blushes. And this is just, I think these are great colors. The one in the middle is super neutral. So whenever I was kind of going for a no blush kind of day, I would reach for that one. And yeah, I really like this little guy. Now we have some single shadows. So I chose 2 single loose eyeshadows from Fyrinnae, which is a fantastic indie brand. The first one is the Prismatic Thunderstorm. This is actually what I have on my eyes, but there's not very much left in there, just because I think I chose, they give you an option for how big of a size you want. So I think it's like 1/4 full versus like 3/4 full of like these little jars, something like that. So this must have been a smaller sample size, but I used this once in June. It's literally on my eyes, bringing my total usage to 4 times. And same with the other one that I chose, Bastet's Collar, which I didn't even use in June, but I did use a total of 4 times. It's a really pretty gold. It's got a little bit of a greeny shift on there. Fyrinnae does excellent single loose eyeshadows, but this is another area where I'm rethinking how I want to do it in my next project pan, because picking the same colors, even for 3 months, because in the first 3 months of my project pan, I had different Fyrinnae singles. It's just, I have so many that it inspires me to use more. So I want the option to use different colors. So I need to figure that out. I need to tweak my project pan a little bit for next time. But either way, these are gorgeous. They're multi-chromes. They show up on the eyes so beautiful as long as you're using the proper eyeshadow base. They're just a lot of fun. And the last product is another loose eyeshadow. This is from Moira. This is in the color Bang. So it is this bright pink color. I used it once in June, and I used it again a total of 4 times. And again, same with the Fyrinnae. I just, you know, it inspires me to use more from like this brand, like similar items, like loose eyeshadows like this. And I just want the option to be able to use different ones. So I'm, again, definitely thinking about how I need to change it up. This is a really good eyeshadow. It's a good loose eyeshadow. I picked it because I thought it was very similar to the Hourglass and the Victoria Beckham loose eyeshadows. They look very similar. They're in similar packaging. They all have this little kind of stopper on top. And I do find those to be a little more finely milled than the Moira version, but the Moira version is still excellent. It's still really good. I still recommend using a good eyeshadow base to make sure that this sticks to it, but apparently I just wasn't using bright pink as much as I thought I would. For the month of June, I ended up using all my products 96 times. Now, last month, I used my products 104 times, so a little bit of a dip, but this is still my second highest usage month. So pretty good, I would say. And the total count over 6 months of using the items was 506 times, which I will say, the products that I chose in my project pan got a lot of usage. Now, again, we did switch them out at the 3-month mark, but I think that just helped me figure out what products I liked, what products I didn't, and it really helped me decide what I wanted to do for my next project pan. You will be seeing a video in about a week where I show you what I'm doing, the new items I picked for my project pan, but I think just changing it up a little so it fits my style better, because I want to use more products, but I feel oddly bound to the ones in my project pan, which can be fine. Like, primers are great. If I wanted to use a different foundation, at least I can use one of the primers in my project pan. But you know, sometimes you get a little bored. So I need to figure out how to spice up my project pan a bit just to keep me fully invested in it. Now, I love doing project pans because I feel like it really gives me an opportunity to use these products, to really get to know them and to really speak to whether or not I like them, minus that one blush. Minus that one blush. But other than that blush, I can step away really having a firm understanding of how these products work, if I like them, if they're okay, and what kind of place they have in my collection, when I would use them, if I would want to travel with them, if I wouldn't want to. And yeah, it's fun doing a project pan. It's fun when you finish a product. I was so close with this primer. I will finish it probably in the next 2 weeks. That's what I'm thinking. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you did. Let me know if you're working on a project pan and how that's going. I would love to hear an update from you. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!